Last week, the US Supreme Court unanimously decided that the NCAA was violating antitrust law by restricting competition for student athletes. Colleges are now allowed to compete for student athletes using education-related benefits. This includes scholarships for graduate school and education-related expenses such as a laptop. Many people are wondering, how is this going to affect the economics of college sports? I want to focus on one issue. Who will lose from this arrangement? The loser is going to be someone who currently benefits from college athletes not getting paid. So who benefits from the status quo? Most revenues from college athletics come from men's football and men's basketball. And economists at the University of Michigan and Northwestern University looked at where this money goes. The economists don't track every penny, but we know who some of the major beneficiaries are. For every dollar generated by these two sports, 11 cents goes to the other sports at that school. Most of that money is going to women's programs, and there's no way schools are going to be touching that money because of Title IX, which mandates equity between men's and women's sports. In fact, schools might have to give women's sports more money to maintain equity. So which areas can be touched? Well, 9 cents of every dollar goes towards compensation for school administrators. So maybe those administrators will cut their own salaries. Better look somewhere else. Speaking of compensation, 3 cents of every dollar goes towards salaries for coaches in football and basketball. Now, 3 cents sounds like a small amount, but we're talking about millions of dollars and only a few coaches. In my state, the highest paid public employees are the University of Utah basketball coach, who made $3.7 million in 2020, and the University of Utah football coach, who made $5.3 million. Schools are not going to touch coaches' salaries because that's already a competitive market, and those salaries are determined in a competitive equilibrium. So who else might lose? The largest share of money that these economists identify is 20 cents of every dollar going to facilities. Facilities are great investments for college programs because they're durable goods whose benefits extend over multiple students over multiple years. But facilities have become insanely opulent. Here's an example from my alma mater, BYU, who just announced their brand new football locker rooms. This is so extra that marginal cost must exceed marginal benefit. But the marginal benefit is not just for player performance. It also includes recruiting and retaining stars. Facilities are a way to indirectly compensate athletes. We can't pay you, but we can make you feel comfortable. So I think the increase in player compensation will come at the expense of facilities. And honestly, that would be a fair trade. That doesn't mean that universities will stop building decadent facilities. It just means funds for facilities will have to come from donors, which is what happened at my other alma mater, Yale, with their new lacrosse field house. Somebody got tax breaks for that. Who else could lose? Will small schools lose as big schools buy the best athletes? I don't think so. Schools are competing for these top athletes, and any increase in benefits will be immediately matched by other schools. So yes, compensation to athletes will increase, but any compensation is going to be tiny compared to the massive potential payout of playing for a great coach or a great team. An athlete isn't going to sacrifice millions of dollars in a professional career for a $600 laptop. Most importantly, the Supreme Court's decision is the first step in what's certain to be a long battle against the NCAA's anti-competitive behavior. And if you're interested in issues of antitrust, you should check out this video on whether Google hurts consumers.